Okay, well, I'm going to cut out a heart. What I did is I cut it out and then I placed it like this. And then I'm just going to pencil it onto the piece of wood that I'm using a little bit. I never let a piece of lumber go to scrap. A lot of people throw lumber away. I'm the first guy to use it now. I'm ready to cut that out. Okay, I'm going to show you really quickly how to do a small project and making a wood heart. So first I traced it off on here, and then I'm just cutting it out with my jigsaw. If you're watching here, I'm not too worried on what side of the black line I'm on. When you're making a big curve like this, it's hard to stay in or out. But what you don't want to do is have jogs. You want to try to keep it kind of consistent. Okay, I'm done with that, but that was an old cabinet door that I just used. And now look, I've got my router set up, and I'm going to use a little bit of a turn or curve, and I need to just bring that up a little bit more. So I've got a nice right there. And I'm just gonna, I also want to make sure that I'm not touching the table here with that tip. It just makes a beautiful look. I want you to see that normally I'm holding the router with both hands, but this is a small piece, so I'm using one hand to hold a piece in place. Now, if I want a really beautiful look, I'm going to do both sides of this, just to have a real nice round corner to it. thing I'm going to do is, if you look here, there's a little bit of a lip here. I'm just going to sand it down with some sandpaper. Now, if you notice, I'm not sanding that round part there because the router tool's made to make that beautiful. If you see right there, there's a little bit of a burn mark. Depends on what you're looking for, but just take a second. Takes a second to take that out. And last thing I'm going to do to make this a beautiful heart, I'm going to give it a quick coat of red paint. And a quick coat a lot of times means you have to give it 2 coats. Now I have to decide what's my front and what's my back on this. I like this because it gives me a place to write. So this time this is going to be the front, this is going to be the back, and I want to paint the back first. Oh. Now, if you know you're going to give it 2 coats, you don't have to give it a real good coat on the first coat. So. Now look, before I turn it around, I'm going to get the edge real good. Right here. Right there I didn't even get any paint. And then turn it around, do both sides. And I'm going to leave it here to dry. So what I want to do is let air go underneath my piece. Now, because this has a pattern to it, you want to go up and down with that pattern with your brush strokes. Now look, I didn't get it in there, in that crack, so I got to make sure to do that on all of these cracks here. When you're painting, one thing you want to do is try to think of like it's baptized. You want to definitely get every bit of it. Last thing I'm going to do is, I'm kind of in a hurry, so dry it. That way I'm going to give it a little light sanding in between coats. Not everybody does it this way, but in a minute or two it'll be dry, I'll be ready to give it a second coat. I don't know if you've been to a paint store, but a lot of times they take a dip of the color of paint with their finger and they put it on the lid, and then they immediately blow dry that so you can get out of the store without having paint on you. Just like that. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, well, I'm going to put this beautiful heart on the cross here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a screw where I drilled those holes and put a rose up close, something like this. And this adds so much beauty to the crosses and meaning. Here, put a second screw on it to make it secure. It just adds a lot of color to it. And then this one here, I want to hang it in the yard here. But what they do is they make beautiful yard ornaments because they spin. Take a look here. I got a little piece of ribbon on there. Because it's flat, it's going to wind up and try to flatten itself back out again. But spinning it or not, they're gorgeous. And just a little beautiful thing like that changes your whole yard. Take a look here, I got them in the front yard, and I've got several back here too. Just look at how nice they're moving in the wind. Without doing anything. Man, isn't that gorgeous? I love it.